Hello friends, and welcome back to Cities Skylines. Have you ever been unsure how to start your city build-off? Need some inspo? Besides using real life, which I do quite a lot, I thought it would be fun to let AI generate my city layout. We'll use some of our own creative flair as well, and spoiler alert, it's a bit wacky, but let's trust the process. So first of all, I'm thinking I want this to be kind of a futuristic city. AI is the future after all. Let's see, a layout for a futuristic city, including the roads and buildings. It should have a mixture of high-rise buildings and low density to create a nice skyline, of course. It should also include areas for industrial that are far enough away from the city so they don't cause pollution. We'll see if being very specific gives us a good design. Okay, let's go. And by the way, we're using Midjourney for this. Alright, let's see what you got. Interesting. Okay, but I can't see enough of the city here to do something substantial. Let's just try to generate a few different images in different ways. So let's simplify it a bit and we'll go a bird's eye view so that maybe it shows us a bit more and just a whole downtown area. Lay it on me. Okay, wow, super interesting. This looks like something Mike Builds would build. And a lot better than me. Okay, let's keep that for some crazy intersection inspo. And I think the bird's eye view prompt might be helping. So we're going to need a residential area, of course. Let's see how this goes. I'm sensing a bit of a pattern here. It definitely loves to use a lot of circles and curves. But let's see what it does with an industrial area. And it looks a bit similar to the last one. Alright, well look, okay, I'm alright with some circles, but how about some grids and wavy kind of roads as well? Damn, it's really stuck on this, isn't it? Okay, well let's tell it we want to see the whole neighborhood in the picture and see if it can follow this simple instruction. Okay, I get it. I guess I'm going to have to build some kind of a circle with lines coming out of it, but I definitely want some variation. Okay, even more wacky circles. Alright, how about no circular roads, period. And this time show me the whole dang neighborhood, please Mr. Computer. Thank you kindly. Whoa, now we're talking. Now this is so cool. We'll definitely use this. Thank you, Mr. Computer. And you know, I didn't even tweak any of these settings. I wonder if we increase the prompt adherence, if it will be more compliant to our requests. Okay, no. I mean, it's a cool picture, but not good for inspo. Let's shift that back down a little bit, and now let's see if we can get some cool park designs out of this technology. I'll tell it the specific trees I want to use from the game as well, and of course, some fine shrubbery. Okay, interesting. I think this prompt thing is still too high. Let's turn it down and go for another spin on the AI Wheel of Fortune. Wow, cool. Okay, we can definitely use this. Now let's do an education district. We'll bung all the types of education available in the game into one spot. Nice, also cool. Definitely going to use that. Okay, let's try the industrial area again one more time. A bit more realistic, not totally wacky, but the AI wants what the AI wants. Done. Next, how about a rich neighborhood this time? Okay, wowzers, loving it. We'll definitely attempt this. Attempt being the key word. Now let's round out this nonsense with a commercial office kind of district with a sprinkling of fine shrubbery. Nice, very cool, very modern, very urban greenery with the shrubs hanging off everywhere. I like it. So now how are we going to use these? Let's summarize a bit of a vibe for the city. So we're definitely going to need some circular roads, some windy roads, some big skyscrapers, some quays and water, like a bit of a canal situation, and some dense greenery. Kind of sounds like what I would do anyway, but let's go. So the first thing we need to do is pick a map, and I think I'm just going to pick something pretty basic, something flat, and I found this European riverside map in Paradox Mods, and I think that'll do nicely. Now, of course, I did ask ChatGPT what I should name my futuristic city, and it came up with Cyber Sands. I'm not entirely sure that I love that, so let me know any suggestions for what you think we should call this city down below. Now, the first thing I think I'm going to tackle is what Midjourney considers a rich futuristic neighborhood to look like. It seems the most complicated and involves water and stuff, so in my brain it makes sense to do this first. A bit of a centerpiece of the city, and we can build out from there. And I think my approach to recreating this is going to be to get the general canal layout using these existing little lakes on the map and form our little base for where the roads will go. I'm recording this in the future, so I can tell you this did in fact take a while and was very much a trust the process kind of thing. And trust me, it ends up looking a lot better by the time I'm done with this. So let's just dig and put some roads and quays. And looking at the picture, I think we'll just use some really thick roads mixed with alleys. Not exactly conventional, but the picture does look a bit like that. So let's see how we go. Alright, I'm calling that a start. Let's put some buildings down and see how we feel about it. I think for this area I'll use some signature buildings, and there's a mixture of the high and low. And then I think things like the fashion square will look good for this little square one down here. And of course they're going to need some electricity and other services. So we'll start building the industrial over the back of it in line with the air direction. And we'll take advantage of some of these existing railway connections on the map and put in some cargo trains as well. Okay, so we have some utilities, and we have a banged up version of a canal thing. I swear this gets better, stick with me. Let's expand the other side of the city now, and I'm keen to build this cute little education precinct. And I think there's a good spot for it over here. Unfortunately, no plumbob doodah to use for now, but we'll start with the roads. A basic kind of square layout and leaving room for this little centerpiece here, and surrounded by some blocky kind of buildings. Let's do it. Alrighty, so we're doing what we can with the assets we have to use, but I think the road layout is looking pretty similar. Now I'll add some zoning in here, trying to replicate the picture in terms of the shapes, as much as I can anyway. And actually I really love to use the mixed density around the education precincts. I reckon it looks a bit like dorms or student accommodation kind of thing, and we'll mix in some medium density so we can get some actual people up in the city. And now for this little hexagon in the middle here, the best thing I can think of is the school medical clinic extension. I'm going to use the dev tools to place this down and the nifty little trick from Sully to get this nicely aligned. So what you do is first hit the parent building and align it how you want it, and then press escape. And then grab the extension you want to use so it lines up. Super easy, thanks Sully. Actually, speaking of Sully and all of his greatness, you might have seen the new asset icon library mod that recently came out by TDW. I was so pleased to help out Sully and TDW and a little team of volunteers on our endeavor to capture thumbnails for every single asset in the game. That's right, every asset, over 7,000 of them. So when you're using this mod and you place down some billboards or some high density European residential, you can think of me sitting here at this very computer taking pictures of every damn one of them. But the kudos really goes to TDW and Sully for the development and coordination of this event. Now let's check out our progress here. It's definitely coming along. Okay, now I want to try and tackle this funkadelic sprawling residential that AI has cooked up for us. I think we'll put that in the middle here between the canal situation and the education area. And what I liked about this is the various heights of the highways weaving throughout the place, and the good mix of low and high density. Let's see how close we can get it to the picture. So we'll start with the roads and just pick some various heights for these winding through. And I think these condensed parts with all the houses look like they're all on a curve to get that kind of effect from up in the air. So we'll add in some circles and some curved roads in and around all the weavy, wavy, bigger roads to try and get the same type of effect. And now might be the time to start weaving in these smatterings of high rises around the place. And we'll add in some commercial and office as well. And I also think it's time to head back over to the industrial and maybe zone a little bit more here as well. We'll need to add in some interwebs and telecoms and all the things, so they probably make sense over here as well. And while we're here, I think I might also add in a little path along the front of the industrial here, so it's a bit more like the picture. And then we'll head back over to Weavy Curvy Town as I want to increase the population. So let's try and get in a few more houses. Now the neighborhood is taking shape, I want to recreate what looks to me like a little lake here in this shape created by the windy roads. So we'll carve out a little bed and use the water features mod to create a little lake here. And we'll surround it with some trees as well. Looks a bit, how do I say this in YouTube safe terms? Womanly, yes. And now you can't unsee it. You're welcome. And then speaking of water, it's time to tidy up this canal area a little bit. I think what might help it make a little bit neater is to get the water levels a bit higher, so we can hide all of this jagged terraforming. So we'll use the trusty water features mod again in a cautious manner to get the water levels to rise. Let's spruce it up a bit more by adding in some more greenery and fine shrubbery to get a bit of life into the place. And a tip from the mayor, simply use trees to hide all of your gaping terraforming holes near your keys that just won't go away. Alrighty, let's head back over to the neighborhood and add in some more roads to really start fleshing it out. I need some high rises and a skyline, so let's go. And we've been faffing about so long that winter is now upon us. But a good time to try and draw this park. I think I'll fill in this little spot across from the canal area. And in the distance of the picture is this big circular kind of building. I figure we may as well use the CIA building for it here. And then we can put the park in front of it. The other circle towards the front will just have to be a fountain. And this is where I learned that I'm really terrible at drawing circles for some reason. But anyway, I really want some more grander types of props to use for this kind of stuff. More fountains, more statues and decorations and things like that. But we shall make do. And then I made the park a bit wider to fill in this space. And even though this looked like the most straightforward thing, maybe I was a bit tired at this point. But I just so wish this looked a little bit better, honestly. But it's still the vibe. And fine shrubbery is also a good way to hide those ugly path edges. So next we'll add some buildings along the border on each side and our little park is complete. And then I thought one park just isn't enough. And we still have this little blank space over here in front of the university. I thought I'd have one more spin on the AI Wheel of Fortune. I do like to use the only statue we have in the game near the university. I don't know why, but whenever I look at this guy, I just think he's like holding the ball of knowledge or something. He just belongs here. So I've asked AI one more request. Give me a park that features a big green statue of a guy holding up a big ball. And this is what they came up with. So let's do it. And then I got a bit carried away filling in some of the spaces connecting all our little AI creations together for a cohesive little city. I added some train stations around the place and I did resist the urge to add some trams, but maybe later. But let's do a quick whip around now and see how we did. And I'd love it if you want to throw some suggestions down in the comments to name some of these little districts. So we have the Crazy Key Canal situation, a bit of a centerpiece of the city, not bad. We have our regular schmegular industrial area, but it's doing what it needs to do. We have our cool little education precinct, complete with the big ball of knowledge statue guy, and some trees that have gone missing for some reason. And then I think my favorite part is this nifty sprawling residential with all kinds of wavy roads going through it. And then our little park with a random bit of water making an appearance. Interesting, but not bad, AI, not bad. So let me know, have you ever done this to inspire your builds? How did you go? And if you like this video, give me a subscribe. It's free, you know. I won't show you the graph, but I think it's like 90% unsubscribed people watching my content. So go on and consider it your good deed for the day. But for now, I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye.